Hi, I'm starting on a new plan to encourage my blogging consistency. So, what I'm going to be doing is putting down a short blog every morning and try and keep to that same time slot. So, we'll talk about what happened the day before and also what my plans are for the day, and we'll see how that runs week to week. There's two big changes I've made in the last month. The one is that I've begun a program of intermittent fasting. So this is where you have longer periods of time when you're completely fasted, and then when you do eat for a shorter period of time. So what I've settled on is what's called a 6-18 fasting period. So you eat for 6 hours and fast for 18 hours, which really isn't too bad. It just means you skip breakfast and you don't snack late at night. So what I do is I get up in the morning. I can have black coffees or calorie-free drinks. I then wait until 1 o'clock, have a lunch, and then later in the evening, so around about 6 o'clock, I have my dinner. I'm finished my dinner by 7 o'clock, and that's it for the day, waiting till 1 o'clock the next day to eat again. Now, you might think this seems a bit extreme in terms of handling your hunger, but I found after a few days, really you get used to that pattern, and in some ways it's a relief to not be thinking, well, should I be snacking, shouldn't I be snacking, what's healthy to snack, if you know you're just not going to have anything. So another way of looking at it, it's a way of easy portion control, because the portion size is zero, and it's a portion size you don't really have to think about and judge. So that's the approach I'm taking. Sometimes I do allow a bit of flexibility, so other people you might see on the internet have something like a 8-16 period, so they might eat from 2 in the afternoon till 10 at night. There's a couple of internet celebrities that do that. So what I can do is, if I have to eat a little bit later, there's two options. One is to make it a 16-8 day, so still keeping a significant fasting period, or otherwise eat a bit later. So if you're going to eat till 8 o'clock, then don't start till 2 o'clock. The way I'm doing it at the moment, I'm just establishing this as a habit, so I'm not aiming for weight control, although I'm having some weight loss, but the idea initially is just to get used to that pattern of eating. So it gives you pretty free eating between 2 in the afternoon and 1 in the afternoon and 7 at night. Later on, if I do want to go to, there's two paths you can go. One is to restrict calories more. An extreme, or not so extreme, but a more marked approach of this type is what you might hear as the 5-2 fasting. So you have 2 very low calorie days in a week and then 5 average calorie days in a week. So by what they mean by low calorie days is usually a total calorie intake of 500. So if you're doing that in 2 meals, it's 250 calorie meals over each day for a 2-day period, and then you're back on a what you might work out as a normal calorie diet. So that's one path you can go. The other path is actually then to start, instead of having more calorie cutting, although even with a 5-2 diet, you're not really dieting in the sense of losing weight necessarily, because the calorie restriction during those 2 days you can catch up on in the 5 days, so you can maintain weight this way. Or otherwise, so another approach then is to go to a calorie restriction. So you might stick to the 6-18 pattern of fasting, but then go to a calorie restriction. So you might have a meal replacement bar for your lunch, and then a lower calorie dinner such as vegetables with some chicken, but of controlled portions. And so that would be a weight loss version of intermittent fasting. Another approach where you can also lose weight but have more free eating is to add in exercise. So some people use the combination of exercise and intermittent fasting as a way to promote body development and healthy body habitus. So they're the different paths you can go down. I haven't worked out which one I'll go down yet, but at the moment I'm just really establishing the 18-hour, 6-hour intermittent fasting pattern. So the other thing I've been practicing and I'll need to start working on is I've taken up an internet course on voice called vocal awareness. So what this is a course which I mentioned previously by Arthur Samuel, who is a speech coach to a number of television presenters, actors, and so as well as being a way of speaking, it's also in a sense a philosophy of finding your voice and being able to present yourself in a way that really engages with other people by revealing yourself to them or revealing what you want to communicate in a way that's engaging. So hopefully over the next 12 months of these vlogs you'll see my vocal awareness increase and my speaking improve. So what that involves is he has a program of 7 minutes practice each morning, so you're not covering the whole gamut of his style every morning. So one morning you might focus on one aspect, so for example what he calls presence or stature. So with the stature it's actually establishing a body posture, but along with that an attitude of mind that goes towards communicating well. Another day you might look at more perhaps your pausing or how you space your speaking in a way that's natural, but also engaging and using silences as really part of your communication. Another day might be looking at different types of emphasis that you can give to your speech. So that's a recap of what I've been changing recently, and I'll catch you up tomorrow and we'll see how this approach to more frequent vlogging or more consistent vlogging goes. Thank you for listening. If you like to hear these vlogs and want to follow me in my journey of different things like the fasting, weight loss, voice production, and I'll also be talking about some music because I've got an analog synthesizer that I want to bring back into practice. And so if you want to hear all these things, just click subscribe below and click the notification bell, and I'll be very grateful for subscriptions, and particularly for any feedback you want to leave in the comments. I'd really like to listen to your comments and respond and do blog topics along the lines that you're interested in. So thank you again for listening, and I'll see you tomorrow.